In previous releases, Design Studio executes the data sources of an application in sequential order. This means that the total time it takes to execute is the sum of the execution time of every data source. In Release 1.5, we have the option to execute data sources in parallel. Note that executing in parallel requires multiple sessions. Each session consumes resources on the server that stores the actual data. To demonstrate this feature, we have two identical applications. The one on the left has all data sources set to execute in sequence, and the one on the right has data sources grouped to execute in parallel. The application with data sources in parallel executed faster. Next, we'll view the applications in Design Studio, so we can see how to set up parallel data source execution. We'll edit the properties of the data sources in the Demo Series application to execute in parallel. Note that the application contains 5 data sources, which are executed in sequence from DS1 to DS5. In this release, we can now assign one or multiple data sources to a processing group. Once data sources are grouped, they're executed in parallel. First, we'll set the processing group property for DS1 to group 1. Note that DS1 now includes the group name 1. Using processing groups increases the load on the server. Therefore, the application designer needs to consider when to use them. Typically, processing groups must be UI-driven, meaning that those data sources that should be visible at the same time are good candidates for grouping. A new application property, merge prompts, must be set to false in order for data sources to execute in parallel. The application data sources now execute in parallel. For more SAP Business Intelligence tutorials, visit sap.com/learnbi.